What up guys, Trey here with Speed Shield, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about some paint correction stuff. We've been getting really awesome responses about our video that we posted on the S2000. And so wanted to show you guys what we're doing to this Model 3 over here as well. You know, paint corrections are probably one of the best ways to make your car look quote unquote brand new. It's actually better than brand new. Most cars come with swirl marks and quite a few blemishes in the paint, and a paint correction is a phenomenal way and pretty economical way to make your car look better than brand new, or as good as your paint can ever look. And just to be clear, paint corrections are, after detailing a car, polishing it, mechanically polishing it, just like you do a diamond ring or any sort of jewel. We use compounds and polishes with random orbital machines to achieve a really high gloss on the clear coat of any vehicle. Now, these can be termed a paint correction. They can be termed a paint restoration if we're doing it on an old vehicle. But what it is getting down to the nitty-gritty and polishing that clear coat so that you have zero swirl marks, or as few swirl marks as possible. Swirl marks, if you can understand, here, let's go up to our display in the front and we'll just show you what swirl marks are and how they can affect the performance and the lifespan of your paint on your car. So we're very, very data-driven and factual-based guys here. So we like to show everyone what these things look like when we talk about anything that we talk about, swirl marks or micro marring or anything. So on this display, we have like a metallic black paint. Let me see if I can get it to focus on that paint. Well, you'll just have to trust me. Metallic black paint. And what we've done is we have washed the entire panel multiple times. And we washed it in the morning when it was cool. We waited for it to heat up to where it got warm in the sunlight and washed it. We tried to do exactly what most consumers do with their paint. You know, when you have time to wash your car, that's when most people wash their car. We do understand that the best time to wash your car is not in the direct sunlight, in the shade, and when the paint is fairly cool. You've got the best opportunity of not getting swirl marks if you're following those good practices. But in order for us to make it clear and visible what a paint correction gets you, we did what most people do with their cars. And you can see in this reflection here, you've got what looks like kind of spider webs in your paint. And we see this in traffic every day. You know, we see people's cars at a stoplight and we wince in pain to see all of these swirl marks. Now, that's going to occlude the natural beauty of this paint, because when you have all these swirl marks, you can't see any of the metallic, any of the pearlescent to your paint job. And it's gonna look dull and nasty. It's gonna get dirty quicker because all of these little swirl marks at the microscopic level are texture, that little tiny pieces of pollen, tiny pieces of dirt, dust, debris, and sap, and anything that gets on there, it sticks to that because it's got texture. Well, what happens when the paint heats up and cools down, and heats up and cools down, and heats up and cools down, those particles in there expand and contract. Over time, that damages your paint to the point of clear coat failure. And we've all seen the cars that have flaking clear coat and the paint looks like it's falling off. That's because, one, they didn't wash the vehicle often, so there's probably lots of contaminants on it. But two, they probably had lots of swirl marks also from not following proper washing techniques and a myriad of other things. So one, washing your car properly is very, very good for your paint. Keeping it clean is better than letting it go until it gets really dirty. And paint correction is phenomenal for your paint and paint restoration too. So on this centerpiece, we've got this panel that we just simply did a polish on. So you can see that on paint that looks this bad, simply doing a polish is gonna get you, it's gonna get you some results, but it's not gonna get you the results that we aim for. And we're extremely pragmatic here. We typically prescribe different things for clients, but we're willing to do whatever you're willing to pay for. So it's not like you're gonna be forced into doing something that you don't wanna do. We want everybody to be happy. We want everybody to get what they want, and tell everybody else about us. We can't have happy customers if we're forcing you to do something. So one step paint correction is only gonna do so much for a car that's in that condition. Now, one steps are really good for brand new cars. A lot of times brand new cars only need a one-step paint correction to make them gorgeous. When we see paint that looks like this panel did on the left-hand side, we typically will prescribe a two-step or what we call a multi-step. A lot of times it's 4, 5, 6 steps. So we always evaluate the paint in person with each individual vehicle. And you can see on this panel, it looks gorgeous. So we've got as few swirl marks as possible. Therefore, all that metallic and all the pearlescent can show through. And a lot of times people didn't even know their paint was metallic until they did a paint correction to it. Now there's varying degrees of texture that each paint has. Let's say Bentley has a really smooth paint. Ford and Chevy don't have particularly smooth paint. They have orange peel. Some of the orange peel can be corrected with paint corrections. Some of it can't. So the orange peel is not something that we're going for with a paint correction typically. That may require a color sand and deep correction, and we would cross that bridge if you needed to. But there is a really good depiction of what swirl marks look like and micro marring, and as well as the different steps of a paint correction. Now, going back in here to this vehicle, this Model 3 is a brand new vehicle. From the factory or from the delivery center, there were some sanding marks to where they had to knock down some little paint nibs and some imperfections in the paint. But as you can see, it is looking gorgeous after just a single step paint correction. Now, after this single step paint correction, this leaves your paint very vulnerable. So you can either just drive around with no protection, or if you're making the investment to do a paint correction and make your paint look this gorgeous, you might as well do some protective coatings in the form of quartz coating and in the form of clear bra on the high impact areas. And that's exactly what we're doing to this. We're going to do a full front clear bra, which is going to include the full hood, the full fenders back to here, the headlights, the fog lights or blinkers, the full bumper, and the mirror caps. That's a really good frontal impact protective package. And then everywhere else, and on top of the clear bra, we're going to put Modesta BC04, which is a really high quality quartz coating. And for discussions on quartz coating, we'll get into that on another video. But there is paint correction in a nutshell. You guys always feel free to jump on our website, speedshieldUSA.com. Check out the services. Give us a shout to ask questions. Post some questions in the comments below. We're here to educate, and we would love for you to jump on the website, make a little private design session or a show and tell, and actually come see these vehicles in person, and we can help you make your car this beautiful. Till next time, you guys have fun out there. Stay protected. Speed Shield.